Hello everyone, this is Zahid Bashir. Dear participants, thank you for joining. Today is basically the 11th day on the online training of SPSS. It is 22nd March 2024. The time is 9 p.m. to 9:40 p.m. Myself, Zahid Bashir, I am a faculty member at Department of Commerce, University of Gujarat, and a PhD scholar at Helly College of Commerce, University of Punjab, Lahore. Uh, Previously, we have discussed a lot of contents that I have highlighted in yellow. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, I have discussed the visualization using graph. The first part of visualization I have discussed in the previous session, and today I am going to discuss the second part of the graphical visualization. So let's start what we are going to discuss with today. Today we are going to discuss the following charts like line chart, pie chart, box plot, and other graphs that are available as an option in our SPSS 27. So let me first start the SPSS so that we can run a specific procedure here. So let's we have a data set that we have previously used. Like for example, we were using practice data set for our most of the exercises that we were discussing previously. In the previous session, we were discussing about histogram, bar charts, and frequency distribution using this data set. So today we are going to discuss the line chart, pie chart, box plot, and other graphs. So first we need to understand what is line graph so that we may be able to relate this with our topics. So this is our data set that we were previously using. The first of these graphs is line chart. A line graph is mostly used to show change over time. Always remember, for creating a line graph, you need to have a time series data. So a line graph is mostly used to show change over time as a series of data points connected by the line segment on the coordinate plane. So the line graph therefore helps to find the relationship between two data sets, with one data set always being dependent on the other. You can say that you need to have a variable with reference to time dimension. So in this case, we need to have a data set which may contain a time dimension. So I will let you know I have a data set with time dimension. So what is the procedure? What are the steps required? As a step one, you need to choose graphs, then chart filters, then you choose from the list the line graph. Then you need to choose the simple line graph and drag it to the panel at the top. Then in the variable list, you select the first variable and drag it to the rectangle labeled x-axis in the diagram. Then you select the second variable and drag to the rectangle labeled y-axis in the diagram. So you need to understand that there might be two variables. One is the time dimension variable, and the other would be the simple variable that you are going to use. So if we see our data set here that we have loaded, for example, like this, there is no any variable which is showing the time dimension of a particular variable. So if I want to use the, for example, the SGT as a variable, I need to use the second variable as a time dimension. So let's suppose I close this one and I need to open a blank sheet of SPSS 27 so that I can use a variable, a time series variable here. So let's suppose I have a time series data over here. this is a blank sheet and I need to open a time series variable. So let's suppose there are some data set here. Yes, these are time series data. This is the data set 1, this is data set 2. For example, I am going to use this data set as a part of the line graph. I need to show you first that this is the data set. So you can see here a year dimension as a part of your variables. You have a lot of variable here like size variable, growth variable, and year variable. So let's suppose I am going to use a growth variable as a variable here and a year variable as a variable here. I can open this data set directly in my SPSS. I need to go to the file. I need to go to the open or import one. Rather than using open command, you can import data set if it is in another format. So as we are using an Excel data set, if you see here, this is Excel data set. So I need to import it, file, import data, go to Excel sheet, and let me open this one as a 11th day. Is not showing like this. I need to select the CSV. This is basically a CSV file. If you change the format from here, it will show you the basic data. So you need to select this one. You need to open it, and it is generating a preview data from the file. When it is ready, it will show you like this. You need to click next, next again and again until a finish button appears here. You need to click on the finish button and it will generate your data like this. Now you can see here your variables like size, growth, year. You don't need to change anything from here. You need to have a data and and another variable as a date variable. Like you may have monthly data, you may have yearly data. If you see here, there is a variable named year: 2014, 15, 17, 18, 20, 19, and 20. So in order to apply the line graph, always remember that you need to have some time dimension variable. It may be monthly, it may be daily, it may be weekly, and so on. So other variable, you can choose any one of these variable as a other variable. You can also choose these variable as a other variable. So I have a lot of variable here. So what I need to do, I need to go to the graphs, then chart builder, click OK. Now I need to select here line because we are basically using the line graph. So in order to do it, choose graph chart builder. In the choose from, select line. So what we need to do is we need to select here line, and you need to select the simple line from here. This is simple line. You need to double click on it like this. Now you have two axes, y-axis and x-axis. In y-axis, you need to draw some variable. You need to drag some variable from here like this. It is dragged from here. On x-axis, you can drag your time dimension variable. Here, the time dimension variable is year. It may be monthly, it may be yearly, it may be daily, but you need to drag it here. Now, it is created. You can click on OK, and you will see here the graph, the time dimension graph. Now, what you can observe here, these are the times: 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 2019, and 20. So on the left side, you are observing the growth: 10% growth, 20% growth, 30% growth, 40% growth. So we are observing that on 2014, the growth was between 10 to 20%. It was approximately 15% growth. In 2015, it moves upward, and in 2016 it becomes constant up till 2017. Between 2016 to 2017, the growth was consistent, while after 2017 it drops down until 2019. It was on the lowest level, and it becomes consistent again, but at the lowest level. So this is how you can create a line graph. You can try with another option here. Click OK, and you can change here this variable. You can undrag this one, and you can take any other variable like, for example, EPS, that is earning per share. You can drag it from here. You can click OK, and it will show you a graph like this. Now, on the left side, there is EPS, or earning per share. You can see here on 2014, the EPS was between 40% to 45%. It is between these two levels. After 2015, it was dropped to 30% approximately, and after 2015, it started to increase up till 2017, and then again a short downward, uh, you can say, a short downward drop was observed up till 2018, and after 2018 it started to rise again. So this is the purpose of a line graph, that you can check the trend of your data in terms of a line graph, in terms of a time dimension. So this is how you can create it. The next thing that you need to understand is the pie chart. So what is the pie chart and how it is created? The purpose of a pie chart is simply to show how something is divided into pieces of two or more. Each slice in the pie chart represents its percentage of the whole. Below is an example of the pie chart. You can follow these steps, like you need to choose graph, chart builder. In the choose form list, select pie or color, and then you can slice by rectangle at the bottom. So let's suppose I am going to use a pie chart. I need to check what kind of data I can take. Like, I have size data, I have growth data, I have a lot of other variables here. So I need to go to graph, chart builder, click OK, and you will see here the pie option. You can click on it. You can create, just a minute, go to graph, go to this option, click OK, double click on it. Now, it is asking you what kind of variable you want to take as a pie. For example, I would like to take the size as a dependent variable, and I would like to see, or I would like to slice this variable on the basis of the growth. Let's suppose it is not taking like this. No, it is not taking like this. Institution, shareholder, category 1. Yes, it is accepting shareholder. So you need to have an ordinal data. So click OK, and we will see a graph like this. So there were two categories of shareholder, which are basically related by 0 and 1. So half of the shareholder based on the size are represented by green, and half of the shareholder are represented by blue. So you can use any type of data here. We can choose from, for example, the other data set that we previously were using from the A7. Let's suppose we use this data set instead the present data set. What kind of variable we have? We have gender, we have age, we have education. So let's suppose we need to create a pie chart on the basis of these variables. Pie chart, double click on it. Angle variable, for example, I am taking gender. No, it is not taking it. All right, always remember that the ordinal variable you can take on this one. If I click OK, what will happen? Let's see. Now it is showing the pie chart of your age variable. It is showing that the people who belongs to 18 to 25 years of age are represented by blue diagram. The people who are represented by 26 to 30 years are represented by green, and so on. You can create the graph like this. The third one is basically box plot. A box plot uses graphic element to display five characteristics one at a time, each graphical value. So these statistics are minimum value, first quartile, median value, and third quartile. Because the time is very short, we will discuss in detail in the next meeting. But you need to explore a lot of options here for graphical representation. Like previously, we have discussed the scatter plot, the histogram, the bar chart, and today we discuss line graph, pie chart. We may have a lot of options here. We can create the box plot also in order to see uh, the normality of central tendency of the data. So you can create the box plot here. You can take any variable. For example, I am taking this variable as a x-axis and ps variable as a y-axis, svt as a x-axis. It is not taking the other variable. You can take only one variable. So it will show you a box plot like this. Do you have any question regarding today's discussion? Please ask, because the time is going to end.